Alright, hey guys, how's it going? Diamond here. And you guys went berserk on the last video how to create a custom monster model or mob, whatever you want to call this title for now. And honestly, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for the amazing feedback you guys gave, and really just thank you. I love doing these type of series and I want to continue doing it. And to reward you guys, once I'm done setting up this model, I will provide it for free of charge, nothing, over at the Revive Node Discord. So I'm gonna leave a link in Discord below. So once we're done modeling and animating and connecting with mythic mobs, I'm just gonna provide you guys a model completely free with even some better tweaks and better texturing. Of course, I'm gonna make it look better for my viewers. Hey guys, sorry for barging into the video like this again. And I just want to point it out, if we can get up to 150 likes this time, because you guys went amazing the last one, if we get 150 likes, as soon as we reach that goal, I will record the next video and upload it all in the same day. So if you guys want to see the content out as soon as possible without any plugin showcases in the middle of it, well, you know what to do. Alright, I'm out. We're here to finish off this creature, this horrible creature. It just takes effort. And I guess we'll begin this today. Last episode, we finished off creating the model and texturing it. I did, however, forget a few tweaks, such as the arms. So in here you can see I didn't texture it, but that's fine. Again, this is all for tutorial purposes. You will never see this in game as well, so that's fine as well. If I was creating this for an actual model that I was going to probably sell or provide to someone, I would take a lot more effort. This is all tutorial sake. Now let's go into animate on the top right. If you did everything correctly, you should have the animate. And if you don't see animate, you can go into file, convert project, and just make sure that if you don't see it, then you are in the correct version. But if you do see it, make sure to click generic model. I am in the correct one, so I will not head over to animate. But before we do continue as well, I want to make sure you guys check out Revive Node in the description down below. Revive Node provides premium Minecraft servers for a budget price. You can get a server for only $1 a gigabyte, and use the promo code DIAMOND in all caps. You can get up to 15% off your very first server, making it as low as about 75 cents a gigabyte. That's really cheap, and you can start either a server to play with friends online or start your very own adventure server, put this example of a mob in the world, or overall, just make your own network today. It's all possible. Make sure to check out Revive Node in the description down below. Other than that, let's get straight on with the video. And here I'll show you what I have so far. Here we have an idle animation, so if I click on it and I click play, it's a simple idle animation. He's very still, he's just standing. And there are a few ones you want to remember. Idle, death, falling, attack, and these are very straightforward and they're not too hard to remember, which doesn't really fit him all that well. So we're going to be creating a better walking system. And here is the rage that you saw at the beginning. We'll do this all in the configuration after. We also have the attack, which is very straightforward and I like, is all it has to do with is keyframing, and the software does a lot of the rest for you, which is really nice. And we have the death, which I actually do like. It looks kind of funny, and he just dies. Now, if you're wondering why the arm is so down below, as you can see here, this is the floor level. So whenever it does fall, it'll just look like some weird gems that immediately fall on the ground. Because if you rewatch it, you can see it immediately just falls down, which would stick into the ground. So there is a little bit of character into this model. And again, just idle. So what we're going to do today is mainly just work on the idle and the walking. And create a simple model, make it jump. Create a second model, make it walk. Another model, make it move its arms. Just do something that they'll help you learn for the process. The only reason it's easier for me is because I spend a lot of times learning stop motion animation. And I still suck at it, but it's fine. We're going to fix that now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to completely just delete the walking and the idle. And we're going to go ahead and up here to the plus button, and we're going to click add. We're just going to click the plus button and we're going to give it a name. For this one, I'm going to call it walk. And I don't know why it's playing, but that's fine. And we're going to create a second one called idle. And now we have both of them. If you double click them, you can actually see there are options you can choose, such as, do you want them to loop? Do you want them to hold the frame on the last frame? Or do you want it just to play once? For the walking, and for it, I also want it to loop. Now, a good exception of where you don't want it to loop, such as the death animation, you wouldn't. So I put on hold at last frame. And for the attack as well, I also have it play once, because I only want it to play once. So if we could play, it stops. If we go to death, it just stops completely as well. Rage is on a loop because I set it to a loop, but we're also going to go ahead and make it into play once. And now let's work on the walking animation. Like I said, I want him to be bulky, so the way to make him bulky is to make him walk very slowly. So let's begin the process. First thing you want to do is identify what you want to start moving first. And you're going to come down here as well, because this is where everything is going to be on the timeline. Let's start with his legs. I'll start off with a left leg, and it's relatively simple. Once you have that, you can see it's selected. You have your moving options here. You can resize it. However, the resize does not work from my experience. And we also have the rotation. So we can rotate the character as well. As you can see here, it's rotating, and it's even calculating on the right-hand side and what you're actually doing in the timeline. I meant left-hand side, my bad. But what we want to do is, first thing, always remember to save your main keyframes. Unless you don't need it. I'm just showing off. It's something that probably does happen a lot with me. So once I have the first keyframe saved, I'm going to move it a little bit forward, and I'm going to pull it all the way up, as I want him to feel like he's heavy, so he's going to be walking very slowly. And then I want him to pull his leg all the way back down, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this last keyframe all the way at the end. So if we play it, that is way too fast. That's not even a full second. So we're going to go ahead and slow it down, putting it about 2 seconds. So if I click play again, I do like it. However, it is a little too fast here still. Let's try it again. That looks a lot better. I can slow it down if I wanted to. This is all preference. And once I have that, I can click play. And it has the animation I wanted. But now let's go over to the right leg. And for this one, what I want him to do is go backwards. First, I want to save the positioning and rotation first. And I want him to go backwards when this leg is forwards. So I'm just going to go ahead and play around with animation a little bit until I find something solid that I really want and that would actually look good when in the actual animation state. So if I click play on these simple keyframes I just added, it doesn't look as good. What I'm going to do is try to pull animations a little closer so they actually match up to the... It looks a lot better. Let me add the last keyframe at the end and click play. Don't know where this one came from, but that's fine. We can just come over here and pull it back in as so. Click play one more time, and it looks really stupid, but it works. It does what I'm intending it to do, which is a very slow walking state. Next thing I want to do is just move his arms a little bit. So I'll grab the upper right arm, and I'll come here, save the rotation, and I want him to move his arm just ever so slightly, very slowly. I only want him to probably move it once or twice in this single section. So I'll do that, copy the last frame again, and see how that looks. It's looking fine, but however, I did make this a little too long. So I'm actually going to put all the pivots slightly closer and seeing how well that looks. All right, so that looks a little bit better. I'm also going to move his subarm. So as you can see here, he does have, if I can select the right one, his upper arm and his lower arm. I can move this to give it a little bit more animation to it and just make him feel a little bit more alive. So while he's moving forward, I'm actually going to save the rotation again. Moving forward, I want his arms just to kind of relax in a way. So I'll just have him dip a little bit, and it's going to go backwards. So I'll try to make it move a little bit more forward. And then I'll copy the last frame again, so that it actually syncs up pretty well. So once he moves it, you do see his arm going slightly down, so he's more relaxed when he's walking. Next thing we'll do is the same process again, but with the left arm. And I'll begin with just rotating his arm. Instead of going backwards this time, I'll save the rotation, come over here, and this time move it backwards. And going a little bit more and have it move forward. At the end, we'll just come all the way here and just put it back to its original state. Relatively easy. And we can do the same thing to the lower arm. So we'll go all the way to start, save rotation. And honestly, just having his arm like that is perfect because that's exactly what we wanted. So I'll just save that rotation right there as well. And when he's moving forward, I wanted to relax it a little bit more and then just come back to his original state. And that's really all it takes to have a basic animation. Of course, you can go more in depth and have it how you want. And I just want him to seem very bulky while he's walking, which I have it right here. I'm not going to worry too much about the head animation, as that will be covered with the plugin itself. That's why I haven't been focused on the head. However, if I wanted to, I could have his jaw slightly move. So we can go to beginning, save rotation, as he's trying to breathe. Very nice, I like it. Now we have the walk animation. I'll move him how you want to, and that's honestly it. So I'm gonna do a quick time lapse of how I'm gonna do the idle. So see you guys in a bit. All right, there we go. That's all it really took. It's a very subtle and very calming animation here. It's just I want him to be standing still as he's waiting for the player to attack. And overall, that's it for the animation state. It's a very quick and easy procedure as long as you know what you want the character to do. So usually sketch it out, have some fun with it. And that's it for Blockbench, really. Now that we're done with all the animation state, all we have to do is save our model. Go up to here, click Save Project, and if you saved your project to location already, since we did in the last episode, you're all set. Next episode, we're going to be adding him into Minecraft and seeing how he works out. From there, what we're going to do is set up his attack, how fast he walks, his rage, his death, and all that basic things. So if you guys want to follow along, make sure to catch the next episode. And other than that, this has been a really nice ride, and we're going to be finished very, very soon. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'm out.